Hi all, this tech in 10 or so is going to go back to Boom Cards and Boom Learning. And it's a follow-up to an introductory video I did a couple months ago. Going to look more at the creation pieces and introing to that. If you remember, Boom Learning is a awesome site you can go to create content for students to engage in the classroom or even virtually or remotely without really needing a login in certain ways. Once you sign up for a free account using your email address, you'll be brought to a screen that looks like this. I like to start just by going down here to the tiers of memberships, because in the previous video I did mention, yes, you can remain free for the life of your account. If you're solely going to go in the store and find free or low cost things to purchase, it will allow you to do that indefinitely. It will also allow you to make 5 different decks to use free of charge. The other one you might look at for purposes of our school is the Power membership. It's $25 a year, and if you really wanted to create your own materials constantly, that would offer unlimited abilities to do that. Since we're not taking student data in here, the other memberships would just be something you would not look into. Okay, so very reasonable to buy a membership if you chose to. But get started for free, and then you can decide as you go what you might do. So after that, I want to go back to the store. We talked about this in the previous video, but I want to go back there again. Now the store is where you can find materials or things to use with your class or with your students. And it works on the points. So if you wanted to buy something that was 600 points, you'll see up here how many points you have to buy to redeem it. So you can buy stuff if you want to, and there's a lot of good stuff to buy, but also there's a lot of great free content to be found. I like to go to decks right there, and then let's do a search. So let's do fall for purposes of this. And I'm going to sort this from lowest to highest price so I can see any free things that come up. So you'll notice there's a lot of things that are 0 points, and 0 points means they are free. So I could easily go and click this one and look at it. And I can add that to my library. Once that's in my library, I can go right back to my library and check a look at it. And there it is right there. I click on that, and it looks like it's matching number to number. So the nice thing about that is, let me go back here, I found that free in the store, and you can find a ton of free content. A lot of the people that use this solely have a free membership, find free content, and use the free things, and never get into buying or creating anything. This is all in the intro video, but I just kind of wanted to show that to you again before we get into some of the more creation features of the software or of the website. You'll also want to make sure you preview things for accuracy before doing them with the students, because anybody can really upload anything you find here to make sure it's an accurate activity. And remember from the previous video, use FastPin to share the activity through a link or through the code. They can do it on any device or tablet and play the activity, okay, without logging in. So that's how we're sharing these for purposes of our school, is through that FastPin, and to use it in the classroom itself. Okay, so many things you can do with Boom Learning. It's really a blank slate, and it's another tool in the toolbox. Some people solely use Boom Learning, some use it in conjunction with other things. Some people use Boardmaker Online, some people use Smart Notebook. So many different ways to achieve the same type of things, but this is just another tool in your toolbox, especially during times of virtual and remote learning. It's a powerful tool to share over a Google Meet, share your screen with the students as well. Think life skills, think language, think work-based learning, any type of activity, academics, curriculum. Use the curriculum we have, News to You, Reading A to Z. Use images from Boardmaker and News to You in the activities, and create interactive activities with those. So just so many options you can do with this, but we're just going to look at a few of the ways now that you can create in here, which we didn't do in the first video. So if you want to create your own content in Boom Learning, again, you can create up to 5 decks or 5 slide packages of your own in the free account. So get in there and play around with it. That might be enough for you for what your purposes are. But in order to create, go right into Studio. Okay, and this will bring you to a page that looks like this, and then go to Make Decks, and then New Deck. Your first time in here, it's going to give you a real nice overview slide deck overview of how to create different pieces of the slides. I'm going to go to this one right here that I started making and just use this for purposes of the video. Now when it opens up, it's going to look busy. It's going to look challenging, but I guarantee when you see this, you'll notice how easy it is to do. Now let me preface this by saying there's a lot of people that go in and make beautiful backgrounds, beautiful images or objects through Google Slides or different places. They make a background and screen shoot it and put it into the Boom Learning slideshow. You can absolutely do that. For purposes of this, we're going to look at the technique. We're not going to look at the style of it. We can get into all day of styling and making things pretty, but let's, for purposes of this, just look at the function of what it does, okay? Majority of time you create, you're not going to use this template card. The template card is for basically if you wanted this template card to go through each slide, so it has the same thing on each slide, like a branding thing or a background. But for purposes of this, we're going to skip the template card and just hit add card here, okay? Now let's go through each of these one by one. Again, we're going to try to keep this video not too long, but we can go into each of these more in depth anytime you want, okay? To do something on your canvas here to make your slides, you simply click and drag from the left. So if I want to add text, I click, I drag, and now I can start typing. So we're going to do quick activities just to show you what this looks like. Obviously, we would spend more time stylizing it if you were doing this with your students for real. So let me go here. I'm going to click the correct fall picture. So if we were doing pictures related to fall, again, you would be making different activities in this probably. This is just to show you what this does. So I just added text to my page right here. I'm going to take that text, I'm going to make it bold, I'm going to center it. Over here I could do borders and backgrounds and things like that, but for now I'm just going to be happy with this. Okay? Now I want to go to image because I want to add images onto my page. Again, click and drag. And now it brings you to a page that looks like this. You can import pictures from your computer here by going to upload. I'm going to do some more I just added recently this morning. It's these 5 right here. Or you can simply drag and drop from your computer to Boom Learning as well. It doesn't matter either way. And then you could put your pictures into your activity. So I'm going to put a pumpkin into that box. I'm going to add another image here. Put Santa in that box. Right? So I dragged the text here, typed. I dragged 2 image boxes and took images from my computer. Now check this out. This is where the power of this comes in, okay? I am going to click on one of my pictures, the pumpkin. You'll notice it gives me some options to change the border styles and things like that. But for this, I just want to do correct and incorrect answers. I am now up here going to look at correct or wrong. I'm going to click correct because the pumpkin is correct. Click Santa. I'm going to click wrong. Okay? If I go to preview this, check that out. How cool is that? It gives me feedback and the right answer. So literally in a minute, you could add text, pictures, have an instant interactive activity for your students to do. I want to delete these. I'm going to click on it and then go to delete just for purposes of this. Because now I want to do the same thing, but I want to add text buttons here. So I'm going to drag one button, another button. I'm going to change this to Word. Click on the correct fall word. I'm going to write pumpkin in here. By just clicking on it, I could change, remember, the font, the border, the colors, but for purposes of this, I'm just going to leave it like this. Snow, again, that could be fall, but for purposes of this, let's just do pumpkin and snow. Let me click on this and go change the background color to orange just to give it a little effect here. Change this one to purple. Now, same thing. All I need to do is click on pumpkin, click correct. I can click on snow and click incorrect. If I preview this again, same thing. I'm going to click on the right answer. Check that out. If I go back, I'm going to click on the wrong answer.
Whoops.
You'll notice it gives me that feedback. Super, super simple to do, and it takes less than a couple minutes to create a simple activity. Remember, we're not stylizing this. You could spend hours making pretty backdrops and all that stuff. We're just doing the function here, not the style, okay? I'm going to delete these again here. And let's do another activity using a different type of answer response. So again, all these are different types of answer responses. We did first a button text answer using the correct and incorrect. We did images, we did images first, button second. Same principle with using the correct and incorrect up here. Okay, now let's go down to multiple choice. So first let me put a question on here. We just read an article on the COVID vaccine through News to You, so I could simply write, what was the article about? Again, like you click and drag multiple choice, and it tells you where to put the correct answer and where to put wrong answers. You can delete or add also, so if I only wanted one correct and one incorrect, simply click and hit delete, and you can get rid of extra choices in that you don't want, okay? So this is a text answer. So for my correct answer, I'm going to put COVID vaccine. My wrong answer, I'm going to put presidential debate. Same principle. This was already labeled correct and incorrect for me because I chose multiple choice. So this is done. Hit preview. Whoops. And it's already gives you the immediate feedback from what you just created. I mean, how cool is that? Really, really cool. I love Boom Learning, not only because there's so much free and low cost stuff to find, but also because if you want to create on your own, it's super easy to do once you get used to it. What I've told people that have wanted to create on their own is to stick to one thing. So if you have students who do well with just selecting images, correct or incorrect, stick to that. Use text, use images, and you're done, right? So stick to what you know, okay? Now, let me go back again. I'm going to delete this here. And go back to this page here. Now we're going to look at multiple choice picture answers. So it's the same thing as before with multiple choice, this time just with pictures. So recently one of these stories was about, in one of the high school levels, was about two kids and talking about different words related to running and things like that. So if you were doing a multiple choice response, you could easily make one with pictures. So Austin and Jenny run fast and blink. Well, the correct answer is slow. Again, take anything on this left bar, drag it out, and instead of multiple choice text, it gives you multiple choice pictures. Remember, I don't need to do 4. I can delete any of these I don't want in there. Let's take out 2 for now. Tells you put the right one here in the green, so simply click on it and find your correct answer. Click on it and then put any wrong answer. Okay, then it's all done. Hit preview and play. And just like that. Again, simple when you're on your page here. Again, I'm deleting my content. If it was a real activity, I'd add more cards down the side, real slides on the side. But simply click and drag, 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 anything that you want on your page. Similarly, if I did not want to put these pictures on here, I could do a fill in the blank activity. So, take this right here, double tap to edit. The correct answer is slow. Now down here I can make it case sensitive if I wanted the kids to capitalize certain things, but I'll leave it at like that for now. Okay, I'm going to submit that. And now it looks like that answer is on my page, but when I preview it, it's simply a fill in the blank activity. And you'll notice it can do it like that as well. So it's just another option. I'll tell you right now that the most used options are obviously the text, the buttons, and the image options for correct and incorrect. Also, picture multiple choice is highly used. Okay. The last thing I want to show is another one of the most highly used features, which is drag and drop. So let me get rid of some content again on here. Get get rid of my text as well to start with a blank canvas again. So drag and drop is simply having a container or a place to drag things to, kind of like matching things and dropping them in various spots. Okay, so for purposes of this, let's do fall words. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is first I'm going to add some text to my page. I'm going to write fall words. I'm going to make it a little bigger so it's got a place for me to drop things. I'm going to add some more text to my page. I'm going to say winter words. And make that a little bigger too. I think I'm going to add a border here, that way you can kind of see it. And then I'm going to make it a little bigger, center it. Okay, again, I'm not working on the style here, but I could take a lot of time to stylize these if I wanted to. Now I gotta add the pictures to my page that I'm gonna drag. So let's go back now to image. We'll do maybe 3 for purposes of this. Now let me just resize these a little bit quickly. Now these are going to be what are called drag and drop activities. So get these out of the way. You'll notice if I click on this box right here, I have drag and drop options. This is a drop zone because I'm bringing stuff here. This is a drop zone, so I'm bringing stuff there. Okay. I also have the option of snapping words to center or allowing anything, but let's just keep it like it is for now. Now, in order for the activity to know what is the correct answer and what is the incorrect answer, you simply have to now connect the finger to the flag here. So I'm going to click and drag here. Do the same for pumpkin, click and drag. And do the same for leaves, click and drag. So that shows what's correct. But when I preview the activity, I can now interact with it. And then I can check my work. And you'll notice that I got them all correct. If you simply wanted to do an activity where things were movable without the feedback, you could easily do it without adding the drop zones and things like that. Just make what's draggable on the page and not connect them like this. And then you can still move it around without the feedback in there as well. So that's another option for you to do in here. Okay. A couple other quick features I want to mention before wrapping this up. You can also have sound with a higher level of membership. You can have your own audio into a Boom Learning card. You can also embed video. This is an experimental feature, so it's subject to change. But a nice thing about having video in there is if you drop a video link, you could have a video in there on one part of your slide, and then you could have a question related to that video down here, or you could just have your video on one slide and the next card could be something to do with that story, a multiple choice question or whatnot. So it's a great way to have videos embedded into the content, and then when you preview it, the video plays right in there, and you can even do the activities right along with the story. Great way, especially for remote learning. It's a great way to embed content like that as well. So I just wanted to show you that, but this is not a full feature yet. It's experimental, so it's subject to change. There are also other features you can do, like linking of slides if you didn't want to go in order of the what Boom Learning creates for your slide deck. There's ways to do that. There's obviously much better ways you can stylize things than I did in here by taking images from Google Slides. Also, finding things on Teachers Pay Teachers important to Boom Learning is another thing people do as well, free and paid content. But this video is just intended as a follow-up to my intro video, refresher on that, and also just to look at quickly how you can use all of these different features over here to click and drag and create different types of activities, whether they be simply selecting correct or incorrect, drag and drop activities, multiple choice, image choice, fill in the blanks, and so on and so forth. They are super easy to create once you get used to it. Stick to a couple different ways. And if you don't want to, just simply stick to finding things that are free in the store to use with your students. But again, you can make up to 5 things in the free account. If you want to make more than that, you have to upgrade to $25 a year, which is nothing for what you get for this. So again, it's just a follow-up to the intro boom learning video that I sent out before. We can get more in depth with these anytime you want. But for now, I hope this was helpful, and thanks for watching.